Hey guys, it's Kling, and today I'm going to show you how to make a track like Illenium. So this track is a remix I did for Ava Max's Sweet But Psycho. I never released it, just for fun. But if you guys want to download the samples, presets, and FLP, it's available below for free, so let's get started. Guys, I actually changed my mind. You can go check it out in the link below on SoundCloud. So the most important thing in the track that fills out the whole space in the drop is the lead itself, which is a vocal chop of the acapella, which sounds like this. It's super simple to achieve the sound though, because all I did was, I dragged in the acapella to a Slice X in FL Studio, which looks like this. Then I dragged it into here, and then from there I did press this flag, click it, go to auto slice, then medium auto slicing. This cuts the audio into all the transients, so then you get all these slices of the whole entire acapella. And then from here, what I did was I picked random notes, trial and error, good old fashioned trial and error, and then I just picked what I liked, and I ended up with, all the gray notes are ideas that I had but I didn't use, so this was one of them right here. The processing on these, the main thick of the sound, which makes the sound what it is this decapitator, which I'll take it off, which it sounds exactly like the vocal, but if I enable it, and really on the plugin itself, the punish option is like this. Basically, it's just putting it through a ton of distortion, which is very unnecessary, but it gives it that super guitar feel. So it's super distorted, but it still sounds kind of cool. Then processing on the whole lead itself, on the rest of this, I have just some EQing, and then on the lead itself, some compression, OTT, chorus, some EQ, and some reverb. And then I'm sending the reverb here, which I'm automating the reverb right here, so it sounds like this. Fills out space, fills out the gaps. And then on top of that, last thing for this, I have a pitch bend automation going down and then up and down just in these sections. So it sounds like this. Comes down, then comes back up just for that 1 second. And then what I did after all this processing is I bounced it out, then I put it up 12 semitones for the high lead, then same thing, 12 down for the low lead. Just to fill it out even more. You can't really hear it in the mix, but it adds a little bit extra and it makes it a little thicker. Next are the bass sounds, which sound like this. I actually used a preset for the first one in this gray pack from Echo Soundworks. It's called Vintage Saw, and it sounds just a real deep cutting bass, kind of fills out that 200-ish frequency range. And on top of that one, I have this bass, just a saw wave, and I use a quantize function here, just like a gritty saw wave. Just adding some crunch in that high end, because as you can see, I EQ'd out all the lows and some highs, just to fill out that mid-range, that high mid-range. Then on the bass bus, I didn't do any processing except just some EQ boosting at 200 hertz. Then below the bass, I have a sub bass, which is just a square wave filtered down. Next are the chords, which sound like this. Such a full sound, and I love it. So the layers are this main chord layer, which I had to bounce out because it was so CPU intensive, and it sounds like this. Just some nice chord, saw waves and random waves. It's from Echo Soundworks Vibes pack. You should check it out. It's this MB triangle wave in the analog section, and then looks to be a saw wave just right here. Some detune and just some this LN12 filter, which is giving it that I don't know, just like a real like it's getting hit by a filter. You can hear that it's getting hit by one. Processing, some flanger, phaser, compressor. Post-processing, I have some Camel Crusher, some EQ, just boosting the highs, the size of the highs, and then taking out some of those 30 mid frequencies. On top of this chord layer, I have another layer which is playing the top notes of the chords, which sounds like this. I added this layer because I felt like it was lacking a little bit of movement, so I created this patch real simply. LFO on the fine pitch, turn the BPM off, and put the rate at 14-ish hertz ballpark. Put that on both fine pitches, drag it down to your liking, and then from there, I have this one just on the wavetable. You don't have to worry about that. Yep, 2 saw waves, 7 voices of unison on both. This one is an octave higher right here. Post-processing, diode distortion, and multi-band compression. And then on the whole entire chord bus, I have some EQ rolling off lows. After that, some compression, some kickstart, and I have this P controller, which is controlling nothing. I don't know why it's on there, but it's on there. And then just some reverb. The P controller is on the vintage verb. Sorry about that. P controller is on the vintage verb, doing the good old P controller trick. So a cool thing to note about the chords are these tape stop effects, which sound like this. Just fills out a lot of space, and it fills out the empty space, I should say, not a lot of space, fills out the empty parts. As you can tell, in these like third section bar of these of each bar, it's empty, but these fill it up and give you a preview of what the next chord is. So next are the drums, which are so simple, it's scary. And it's like this. A very basic beat, but a basic beat under a very cool chords and leads. For the effects, this is some simple drag and drop and see what works. This hey hey effect, love that. Sweep, some reverse of the lead. Sorry for your ears. Some haze, and honestly, nothing crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Very simple, but pretty cool track in my opinion. If you want to listen to the whole entire remix I did for this track, I'll upload it on SoundCloud, and you can listen to it for your own liking. As always, sample, presets, FLP, samples, sorry. Download for free. Go check them out. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.